the viewing figures for Wilder Breazeale peaked at 990,000. Very, very disappointing. After the Tyson Fury pay-per-view, the controversy and excitement that it generated, Showtime must have been hoping for better numbers than this, because this was just on regular Showtime, not on pay-per-view. They must have been hoping that Wilder's profile had gone through the roof after the Fury fight, but evidently not. In a country of over 300 million people, less than 1 million tuned in to watch their world heavyweight champ. Very, very disappointing. And what's most alarming to me is the fact that Team Wilder are coming out with stuff like this. Wilder himself saying he can earn 100 million from the AJ fight. You see, Team Wilder have been making some more positive noises over the past week or so, telling people, be patient. The AJ fight will happen. We just need to, they're basically admitting they just need to build Wilder's profile up a little bit more. Then they're going to take that AJ fight. But if they're hoping to build Wilder's profile up to the point where he can make 100 million against AJ, we might be waiting for 5 years for that to happen, if it even happens at all. Because if he can't even draw 1 million viewers to watch him against Breazeale on regular Showtime, then the idea that he can get 100 million purse from fighting AJ is absolutely absurd. It's absurd. Boxing is a business. You don't just pay fighters insane purses because they ask for it. No, you're trying to make a profit off every show. That's what you're doing. If AJ was to pay Deontay Wilder $100 million to fight him now, that show would make an enormous loss. That's what would happen. Anybody who says otherwise is totally deluded. Look at Deontay Wilder's market value. He can't even draw 1 million viewers on regular Showtime. And you're trying to tell me this guy's worth 100 million to fight AJ? Preposterous. Even when they offered him 40 million to fight AJ, that's overpaying him. Based upon his viewing figures here, grossly overpaying him. So I hope Wilder and his team come to their senses. I hope Showtime come to their senses. All this talk of $100 million purses, what brand of crack are you smoking? I want to be positive that Wilder's team are going to make the AJ fight sooner rather than later. But they need to drop the unrealistic financial demands. AJ himself is not a big star in the United States, even though he sold more tickets than Wilder, apparently. The number I've heard for Wilder Breazeale was just over 13,000. There was British press in attendance at the fight, and they said that the arena was not full. You know, they can do some interesting things with lighting and camera work to give the impression that an arena is full, but people who attended, journalists, said it wasn't full. And I haven't seen any official attendance figures out there. The figure that I just quoted, the 13,000, that's just an internet rumor. That's not an official attendance figure. If they actually filled the arena out, they would put an official statement out there through the media that it was a capacity. 18, 19,000, whatever it was at the Barclays. That's what they would have done if they really filled it out. But they haven't done that. The silence speaks volumes. And furthermore, AJ tickets against Andy Ruiz are what, 3 times more expensive than the Wilder Breazeale tickets? So, and AJ's not a big draw himself in the United States yet, but yet he's selling more tickets for 3 times the price as Deontay Wilder. So, again, the stuff Wilder and his team have been saying lately is encouraging, But the financial demands are just absolutely absurd at this point. Wilder once again fails to draw, serious viewing figures that would justify the kind of money he's talking about. Terrible. So, look, Deontay Wilder is an extremely exciting fighter. I like watching Wilder. I always have. I think that he is one of the most devastating punches I've seen in my lifetime. And against Anthony Joshua, it's whoever lands first. Perhaps AJ could outbox Wilder, but I suspect that's easier said than done, just because Tyson Fury was doing it in spots and, making it look as though he was being more dominant than he actually was with all the showboating. And the fact that his connect percentage was higher. He wasn't landing that much more in terms of actual connections. It's just he wasn't wasting as much as Wilder. So along with the showboating, it made it look as though it was some kind of masterclass schooling whitewash, but it really wasn't, But let me not go over that again. The point I'm making is, I will say that Tyson Fury has better boxing skills than Anthony Joshua, no question. So I do think that AJ outboxing Wilder, he might be able to do it, but I don't think it's so straightforward as some people think it is. And at any point, Deontay Wilder can lower the boom and let that big right hand go. And if it lands on AJ's chin, he's got serious problems. So look, I'm not sitting here telling you that, AJ's going to destroy Wilder and this. No. I've never been somebody who comes out with stuff like that. I've always said it's a great fight. My only issue has been with Wilder's team and Wilder himself in terms of their demands, in terms of their, silly statements that they put out to the public. That's where my issue has been. But in terms of Deontay Wilder as a fighter, I like him. Always have done. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Wilder Breazeale peaking at under 1 million. And by the way, in terms of television, it peaked at 886,000. Okay, that's actually linear television and streaming. So streaming and linear television combined was 886,000. And the peak audience was 990,000. So yeah, that's the average. So it includes streaming. So if you're just talking about television alone, it's going to be a lower figure than 990,000. Do they normally include streaming figures when you're talking about the viewership that a fight brings in? I don't think they do. So they're adding on, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, they're adding on stuff which they normally wouldn't add on to try and bolster the viewing figures, because that's how poor they were. Very disappointing. Again, the main focus here is the fact that with such poor viewing figures and this attitude from Team Wilder that we'll make the AJ fight when it's big enough, when we can get $100 million purse, when that's the kind of vibe you're getting from them, you have to be worried when he's only doing this. I was hoping that Wilder Breazeale did millions of viewers on Showtime. If it did like 2-3 million viewers, I would have said, oh, okay, that's a big boost for Deontay Wilder after the Tyson Fury fight, right? In terms of his profile. But no, less than 1 million in a country of 300 million. Can you imagine if Anthony Joshua fought on regular Sky now? How many views it would do? I mean, you're talking about millions of views if Anthony Joshua fought on regular Sky, not on box office. He might do what? 4 or 5 million views or something like that. He'd do an enormous amount of views. And remember, the United Kingdom only has 60 million people. It's much smaller than the United States, but I can guarantee you that even though it's much smaller, if they put AJ on regular Sky, he would do way more than this. The UK is what, proportionately 1/5 the size of the United States in terms of population? Somewhere around there. So really and truly, Wilder, if he's at the same level as AJ, he should be doing 5 times as many viewers. That's what he should be doing. So, I don't know. We don't know what AJ is going to do on regular Sky now, but it'd certainly be in the millions. I want to say it's going to be at least 3 million, 4 million viewers, at least. Wilder should be doing 5 times that in a country that's, 300 million people. Should be doing 5 times that. Back in the days in the UK, on free-to-air television, which is, a bit different than Sky, obviously, because free-to-air, you don't have to pay anything. With Sky, same as Showtime, you pay a subscription. But in the days of free-to-air, you were getting close to 20 million viewers in the UK for certain fights. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this situation. For me, it's concerning because it just pushes the AJ Wilder fight further and further away when they're still making these ridiculous financial demands, but they're only pulling in this number of viewers. Let me know how you feel, people. What's happening? I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.